Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to obey. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build another day.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Wednesday morning, the 3rd of June, 2026. I'm Mose, and this is your conversation to start the day here on Creme Radio, the original since 1989, and of course XTV, the baby of the bunch, back at the zinc fence. We are always delighted, always honored, and we're always thankful to have strength and to have health and to have life. And of course to have the privilege of access to all our own. It's beautiful. Whether you listen to Creme, watch XTV, you got your apps, that's great. You are linked on social media or via simulcast coverage. We happy about it, just happy, love it. We are honored that you to start your day. It's great. We hope that you have excellent health, your energy high, your vibes positive, and of course your morning spacious and flexible. We start now with what we call the warm-ups. We've got the morning news, but before that, we turn to our good people at the National Meteorological Service. In fact, this morning, we have forecaster Derek Woodon to tell us exactly what the general weather forecast is going to look like right here inside the WB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
Good morning. Relatively dry conditions prevail over the region and will support generally fair weather over most areas today and tonight. The 24-hour forecast is for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells today and cloudy skies at times tonight. Showers and thunderstorms will be isolated, except for a few more over the south tonight. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots, and the seas will be choppy to moderate. High temperatures today will range from 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 95 inland, except only 82 degrees up in the mountains. The outlook is for mainly fair weather with only isolated showers or thunderstorms on Thursday, with the chance for a few more over the south Thursday night. There is a high tide at 11:12 this morning and a low follows at 6:55 this evening. Another high is at 1:02 tonight and another low at 5:40 tomorrow morning. The sun rose at 5:17 this morning and will set at 6:24 this evening. The moon goes down at 7:49 this morning and comes up again at 9:24 tonight. In the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected in our area of interest during the next 48 hours. In the sargassum update, there is the possibility that a few more sargassum mats could drift ashore during the coming days, resulting in moderate impacts on beaches across the country. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And now the morning news. Minister Oscar Mira has defended the Cybercrime Act charge against former UDP Chairman Alberto August, saying that he maintains his constitutional rights as a public figure. August was charged with using a computer system to cause Mira to be subject to public ridicule and embarrassment by disseminating a false statement. The charge has generated extensive debate surrounding the use of the law for political persecution. Mira said if it was meant as satire, that must be indicated.
Laws are not there to be abused. Laws are there to be followed. I am a citizen as well. My constitutional right is not suspended because I'm a public servant or I'm a public figure. I think that we all have constitutional rights. We all have a right to ensure that nobody slanders your name. While I think that some may have a point of view, there are others, many others, who have a different point of view. Criticism is one thing. I have been criticized from the time I took over this post at the Ministry of Home Affairs, and I don't mind criticism. I learn from criticism. If there's constructive criticism, I learn, I listen. But there's a difference between criticism and slandering of your name. And that difference, you must not cross, because you can post whatever you want, but there's a responsibility that comes with it. And that responsibility is for you to know when not to cross the line. Don't leave it there and have people believe, because if you go on the comments, many people believe that that is something that I said. And if you want to make fun, if you want to satire or whatever it is that you want to call it, then you go ahead and you say, you know what, I the joke, this is what a man may say a long time ago. Don't leave it as if though in this particular instance, those were my words. Because I got a lot of messages as well from innocent people who would say to me, who said to me, Mr. Miro, why would you say something like this? And if you want to make a joke out of a serious situation, as what happened in Baupan last week Friday, then make sure people know that it's a joke. You don't just leave it out there and have them believe that indeed Mr. Mira said those words. Those were in quotation. You know, and when you have something in quotations, it's because that's what you said. And we are speaking about one particular incident. Then you must make sure that your readers understand that that's not what I said. He could have corrected it, but he chose not to.
According to the Act on summary conviction, August would be liable to pay a fine of $10,000 and or face a term of imprisonment for 5 years, or an indictment to a fine of $15,000 and face a term of imprisonment of 10 years. The DPP would decide if the case is tried summarily or on indictment. For his part, speaking after his 28-hour detention over a satirical Facebook post about Police Minister Oscar Mira, former UDP Chairman Alberto August said, "It makes you realize how vulnerable you are." He added that he will not stop speaking out, though he admitted that when you're subjected to that kind of intimidation, it certainly has an effect on you. His attorney Michael Perfit said the Prime Minister should have Mira removed as Police Minister. August agrees.
As a matter of fact, if you ask me, the Prime Minister should direct that Oscar Mira be removed from that post, because anybody who is minister of any of the security services in this country, you can't be a person who is sensitive. You can't be a person who is soft and thin-skinned, because you have too much constitutional power to be a person that is that petty. That position is for women and men, not boys and girls. And he did not only act like a boy, he acted like a Lee boy. And Lee boy not to have no minister of police position. He is not mature enough to hold that post that has that awesome amount of power to deprive people of their freedom.
Like the chairman rightfully said, man, you have to call for this man's resignation, because Julius Mira get a few lick from now and again, but the Prime Minister is subjected to it constantly. Right? Constantly, but the Prime Minister is skin thick. It's skin thick. You know? But this one here, like the chairman said, man, them people, that kind of character here should not be wielding the power that the police department.
The House of Representatives is set to meet Thursday, June 4th, when the first set of loans for fiscal year 2026-2027 will be introduced. The first of two loans totals Belize $47 million from the World Bank Group for improved access to quality early childhood care and education, and expanded female employment opportunities in that field. The first component includes more preschool classrooms, upgrades for existing preschools, support for early development centers, grants, practitioner stipends, and an impact evaluation on childcare services. The loan term is 40 years with a 10-year grace period on principal repayments at concessionary interest. Disbursement will occur over a 5-year period. The second loan is for Belize $50 million from the Inter-American Development Bank and replaces and expands the September 2019 Belize $20 million contingent loan for natural disasters and public health emergencies. The finances would help alleviate impacts of severe disasters or emergencies. The loan term is 25 years and disbursements would only be made if an eligible event occurs. The Belize Coast Guard and stakeholders, which usually include the Fisheries Department and Wildlife Conservation Society and the Southern Environmental Association, SEA, have increased patrols of the country's southern waters due to illegal fishing by fishers from Guatemala and Honduras. Belize Coast Guard Commander Rear Admiral Gregory Sabaranis said they also monitor for gillnets.
For example, last year, the Coast Guard, along with its partners, were able to seize and confiscate over 15,000 feet of gillnet. So far this year, we've been able to confiscate over 5,000 feet so far of gillnet. So the efforts are there, and we'll continue to work along with our key partners to ensure that the mandate of protecting our sea spaces remains a priority for the Belize Coast Guard, working with our partners.
And that brings us to the end of our morning news update. We'll take a small break. When we come back on the other side, we open up for conversation right here on Creme Radio and XTV. I'm Mose. We'll be right back.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad in the month of June. Visit a
All right, welcome back. WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for today, Wednesday, the 3rd of June, 2026. And as advertised, we have a special guest this morning. We have our former co-host reporting to us from the next side of the pond, as they say in the business. Yes, if you're watching XTV or seeing us on social media, you can see that it is Dominique, the great Dominique Morales. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
you look like you learn some video production techniques, because it's your your profile, your set, your everything is perfect. Yeah.
It's just an empty college student room. That's all it is.
What's that?
It's an empty university student room. That's what makes it.
Your lighting is perfect. You know,
the sun is shining. The sun is shining in Germany today.
Dominique, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing. You're looking good. You're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you.
All right. When do you finish up your?
I'm hoping to finish early next year.
I'm talking about
I'm way ahead of my
school
my schedule. So I'm hoping to finish early next year.
No, I was asking about your school, your term, or I don't know. You have terms, right, or school?
Yes.
School.
Oh well, the semester finishes end of June, early July, I think.
All right. So, any chance you will be finding your way back home for the summer? Or?
I am doing my best, sir. It's quite expensive to travel from Germany to Belize. We don't have enough flight connections, and through the US is quite expensive. But I'm working on it. I should be home. You
miss one another reggae Sundays where I appear upon you. You know that? Have you heard? Well, it was
I'm aware. I'm aware of the schedules. I see everything.
All right.
But like that caller when I'm there, and last time when I was home, who mentioned for me, who recommended that I go to Hamburg. I did go to Hamburg.
Okay.
And I found my people. So I get out of the system. So all right.
Yeah, I saw you did Lila Ike. I was like, whoa, okay, that's nice. That's very nice.
I did. Nice. She was in Berlin. She was on tour, on her European tour, and it was beautiful. Oh, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful musician.
Yeah, I'm a genuine Lila Ike fan. I love her music. So, yes, you can't lose with that. Can't lose with that. But that little envy out of the way. Can we get into main course? I did not ask you to join me via Zoom in your capacity as former co-host, which maybe we could get a little bit of that out of you. I know that you have a small window here. You got classes at 9 our time.
Yeah.
All right. So I, of course, invited your participation in the conversation as it relates to your former position as LIU director. And there have been some significant changes with the LIU program. Of course, it was a bombshell news that they would discontinue the pay for work for the clients, essentially, that the LIU has in the streets of Belize City, primarily Belize City. And I know that you, in multiple conversations that we've had, while you were not like raw with it, you kind of put it out that there is legitimate resistance in high places to LIU. That has been the par for the course. That's what the program had to be operating in, that kind of atmosphere. It is that atmosphere that you had to provide leadership in. You had to deal with that on a daily basis. Both on air and off air, I got that clear sense that resistance has always been there. Now, what were your immediate thoughts and reaction when you heard, or did you hear before the rest of us? Like, walk us through that.
Clients still reach out and check in once in a while. And so there was always complaints coming to me. When I heard the official news of it, though, I was disappointed but not surprised, because I understood this level of unpopularity that the program had. And a program of this sort is very vulnerable to political will, because it's only political will that keeps it alive. It's not necessarily something that is integrated within government policy in that formal kind of way. And so the narrative that always dominates the conversation and the consciousness of Belizean people is that we pay people to hold it down. That's always the narrative, right? And it's much more complex, much more complicated than that. And so yeah, I was disappointed but not surprised. I was alarmed at the way in which it was done, because the sudden nature of it only entrenches people into more perilous situations. It doesn't help if your goal is to assist, if your goal is to ensure that people are no longer vulnerable, then that wasn't the way to do it. LIU with all its complications, that was not the way to have it be done. And so yeah, disappointed but certainly not surprised.
So the way it has been characterized, or what has been the leading argument, is that, hey, we have done this program, we're spending this amount of money that we're spending on this program for direct compensation, and one, we are still experiencing significant levels of street conflicts and violence, which has forced them to have to resort to the very drastic SOE prescription.
Yeah.
And then secondly, that they are paying out, but they don't believe that these individuals are actually giving value for the buck, even in that specific transaction of showing up to do whatever work they're supposed to do. And so the conflicts have not reduced, the violence has not reduced, and thirdly, they're just using the program. It's a free ride. As somebody who was there for, I believe, 2 years, was it 2 years?
Yes, 2 years.
2 years. What are your thoughts when you hear those arguments being put forward?
First of all, I think people need to be realistic and honest that no program of this nature, or no program, can immediately stop all violence. That's unrealistic and dishonest, and I think disingenuous to have put that weight of that expectation on a program of this sort, which I think was the step in the right direction. I don't think it was perfectly imagined and conceived. So when I joined the team, there was a lot of fixing up to do, including in relation to productivity, which you referenced in your second argument, which is that people not to go to work, people not to show up. And I think that's partly the systematic issue, because you can't send people go. You can't expect from people what you're not giving to them. So we had many issues with the amount of tools that we had, the collaborations that we had, and so we were really trying to patch up as we go along. But like I said, I think the issue with LIU, even while I was there, was the conception of it. I don't think we took enough time to put it together, and that's not to discredit why it was started. It's to say there was a lot of fixing up to do while I was there, and indeed after I left. I still don't think though that the solution was to close the program. That's I'm standing 10 toes on that, because there is nowhere else for this very specific population that has this very specific set of issues to go to. There is nowhere. And so you sunset a program, and there are many programs in the government that I believe need to be sunsetted. You sunset a program without giving it a chance to succeed. And that includes staffing it properly. That includes office space. That includes all the things that make this sort of work proper and transformative, including data collection. And so this going back to the SOE thing, and I'm going to end this part of the answer here, is that, I just got some stats from the Belize Central Prison from 2025, and only 17% of the almost 3,000 people in the prison or 2,000 people, only 17% of them are there for gang affiliation. That tells me that there's some sort of discrepancy between what we hear from people who have access to power and proximity to power, and what translates it into the justice system and the conviction system. So you're telling me that, okay, the SOE, you're giving me the punitive, the oppressive, and you're taking away from me the social protection systems. Those things don't correlate to you wanting to have an end to violence in Belize. It just doesn't make sense. It's not coherent. And so, yeah, I think those two arguments of the SOE, going hard on the SOE, but also the productivity thing, there are ways to do things. And I don't think the way, again, in which the program was abruptly shut down meets those ideals that we so propose within public discourse. I don't think so.
Yeah. You know, one of my observations about the decision is that it feels like just some kind of emotional choice has been made, where powerful people, they go by how they feel. They just not like it. They have a aversion to the whole concept. And you know what? If we watch, we don't want to do that. It's because I said this, and I didn't say a whole lot initially. I had spent about 15 minutes on it, maybe on Monday morning. I really wanted to wait until you and I could have a broader conversation, a more informed conversation, because when you're in it, you know it better than people who are just observing from outside. And I think that is what I will hold my leaders to. That when you make a choice like this, that it not be an emotional one just because of your feelings. That if you have a program, did you engage in some kind of performance audit to see exactly what is the profile of failure and success, to know, okay, there are some problems with this. Is there anything worth holding on to? Has there been is there tangible evidence of success? Like if you do due diligence in that regard, in my view, then you can present such data that overwhelms us, even if we feel like, we have our own feelings. Your data then puts us, okay, mea culpa, if that's what's going on, if what we're looking at is, okay, we are engaged with 523 clients, and what we find, the data is saying that all of them have refused to do X, Y, Z. In fact, we see an expansion, and they're actively involved in recruiting new members. Like, we have the data. One, what are your thoughts about, do you know if any such audit was done? And secondly, do you believe that there is data there that they could have access that would give them a very informed picture?
Great. So one, data does exist. That was one of my huge tasks in 2023 to 2025 of finding out who is on the program. Like what kind of people, what kind of experiences have they had? What kind of vulnerabilities do they face? That data did not exist before I went to LIU. We didn't know. What we knew was that they were recommended to join the program by whoever they were recommended by, and they joined the program. But we didn't have data to know what justified or what qualified them to participate in a program of this nature. That data, at least up until 2025, exists. Between 2025 and 2023 and 2025, that data exists. When we went over our data from within the meeting of heads of department within the Ministry of Home Affairs at that time, we presented how many people are repeat offenders or repeat detainees under SOE. That data exists. We talked about, who drop out of school. Have these people experienced any violence themselves? Have they been in conflict with the law? All that data exists. And I want to also push back on this thing that I'm hearing about ghost workers. During 2023 to 2025, you couldn't be a ghost by LIU. Make I tell you why I couldn't be a ghost by LIU. Because to get paid, you need to have a social security card. A social security card means that you exist. And beyond that, from 2023 to 2025, and I presume after, because I believe in the leadership of Andrew Dawson, you could have joined the program without even being saying to be affiliated with any gang. But you have the vulnerabilities. You drop out of school, you're of a certain age, you know someone who has been killed. These are all the things that we look at. These are all the things that statistically make you more vulnerable to joining a gang. And so many of the people who are coming or bring their sons, bring their cousin, bring whoever, and we have an interview process, we have an application process, and this data exists. So you could have done an audit. And again, it is the way how things are done. If you feel like the program wasn't working, the thing to do is not to essentially take bread out of people's mouth and not give them a justification. That's what I'm hearing from the people who reach out to me all the way across the Atlantic. So there's a way to do things, and data exists. You just have to present it. Now, if it is that you already come to a table saying that, well, with the shut down the program, then data or no data, it no matter, because again, it is a matter of political will. And political will, as you know very well, in our country, reigns the most. It doesn't matter what the data says. Particularly, again, the program is a CAP 2 program. So it depends a lot on the support of the people within the executive system. If it doesn't get the support of people within the executive system, this is what happens. They can decide tomorrow, as they have decided, to cut the program. And not based on, I think, the best data and the best decision making and the best consultation processes.
I'll give you a very uncomfortable question.
Sure.
I'll put you in a very tricky spot. I have a concern.
Mm-hmm.
Because you and I have had multiple conversations, and you understand inherently that making any kind of progress with our brothers and their extended relationship and acquaintances and family members and whatever, that to have any chance of making movement ahead, bridging the trust gap is like mission one. Like that's the first thing you have to do. They are generally doubtful of people when they come talk to them about, oh, I can't have to try help. They generally are very pessimistic that there is any authenticity there. And so there is this trust gap. And many of you who have been involved have had to give great effort to close that trust gap. I imagine with different levels of success depending on individuals. But this decision has been made, but we have not heard the people who have been on the front line earning that trust coming forward to be on the record to say, hey, this is a bad decision. You're impacting people that we have worked with. No, it is possible that they have done this informally. It is possible that maybe they have even done it on internal mechanisms. But to public view, we have not heard really and truly in a very loud manner those who have been doing that work come and say, fire burn upon this decision. I understand that that very likely could end up with them not being employed because that's the way our system works. But if you are to maintain a level of confidence and trust from the clients that you have worked with and the relationships you have developed, they need to hear you. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you. I think, there has to be some level of communication with the people you work with. Now, because of the sort of hybrid nature of the LIU, which is a government program, essentially, with people who are public servants, civil workers, I think there is some hesitation on the part of people and disillusionment. And disillusionment not only from, obviously, the severed or the damaged, and I hope not severed, the damaged trust between people in communities, but also disillusionment from people who have dedicated their life to the public service within the government of Belize, but also who come from these same communities. Because you're in a space where you constantly have to be in a entanglement and disagreement essentially with people who should get it, and they don't seem to get it or seem open to getting it. And so yes, there has to be some sort of formalized conversation. I assume that will happen sooner rather than later, but the program has been stopped. And so any sort of conversation, I mean, I think in some ways some relationships have already been damaged, and now we have to what we always which is this firefighting and trying to tell people, hey, believe in a system, but they have to help with that. But then everything else that is happening is proving otherwise. There has to indeed be some difficult conversations, and so yeah, I totally agree with you. You have to talk to people. We're in the business of people and peopling. And part of that is talking to people even when the conversation is difficult. And that should not only rest on the people who work directly with these communities and with these vulnerable populations. It should also rest with the people within the political directorate. It is unfair, I think, to put that responsibility only on the people who work directly with these communities, because that they have to hell or high water. Some accountability has to come from the political directorate. Outside of, I never know we spend so much money on the program. There has to be more than that. There has to be some level of respect. You already have more power than me. At least give me Wali respect. I think we owe people that by and large. And it's not that we don't know how to do that. We know how to do that. But it's who we give that level of value to. Yeah?
Dominique, before I go to my first break, let me ask, for those who don't know, who just, this program exists as something on the peripheral boundary of their consciousness. They hear about it, they hear the name, they have a concept of what it does. But what do you say to them who see violence there's no break in it? We just continue to go through these cycles of conflict and violence. Does that block out meaningful things that are happening on a daily basis, where people are being brought out of being engaged in these activities, and you have legitimate instances of great success, meaningful success?
The public service has a great set of people, and I'm focusing on the public service because with the top of our government shut down of a program, but there are a great set of people who work every day with young people, with people who have been systematically disenfranchised, who do the work every day and change lives. But that's not something I don't believe I should make was spectacle of people's humanity.
But therein lies the problem.
I mean,
because
go ahead.
Because when somebody gets killed, it is on the news. It's on the front page. It's on the headline. It's the story that leads. It's because that is more attention grabbing, instant. Doesn't need any. You don't need to be a good writer or a good news editor. You don't have to be anything. That sells
consume
itself.
that, right?
When somebody is saved, that is not news. Nobody knows. When somebody changes their mind or changes the lane that they're in, nobody knows. Success is in silence and it is off the radar. But the problems remain loud, upfront, and prompt. That's a problem.
That is a problem. But like I said, I think there's a fine line because many of these transformations happen in places with little light. I mean, you try your best to enter the media space. You try your best to have episodes and do all the things. But in the media, unfortunately, if it bleeds, it leads. And no, it's not a story that has captured any attention. And again, people's transformation is not a one-time event. It's not. People fall, come back, but you still have to engage with individuals and with groups. It's very hard to get media houses with people who believe and who understand social issues to follow a story for a very long time, because again, the media houses that care are small, and the philosophy is that if it bleeds, it leads. And the same philosophy of the deficit perspective, where you always say young people if they give problem, you always say people if they give problem, is what reigns in at the Belizean consciousness. We have to do better. I agree. We have to do better with telling the stories of success. But again, people don't want to be mascots, like, because that's what you're right. So it's a difficult contestation that we have to deal with. But yes, we need to do better at telling the stories. We're not the best at that in the social sector, because we're trained to respect people's confidentiality and humanity.
I didn't.
But it's just, we have to do a better job. We have to do a better job. I agree.
Because then it makes you more vulnerable to unfair choices, unfair decisions. Because
I agree.
Then we don't really know the score, do we? We only know one half of the score. And so it's easy for us to make these very unintentional bias decisions. You know, we are like, oh yeah, we still hear about murder, so then people fail and they fail.
Yeah, but I expect that from every day. Like, I expect that from
people
who know they're in a leadership. I expect from the people who I elect to lead me. I expect a bit more.
They better know the score. They better know the score. That's their job. That's their job description. Know the real score.
That's your job to know the score. And if you don't know the score, then we try fix the system. Wanna make we know the score. We try measure better. We try collaborate better. But the thing that no or quick slash at the machete, you know, do that. That don't know how social protection is supposed to work. That don't know how social justice work. Right? Like, it has. I expect more of the umpires. I expect more.
It's a great way to put it. Dominic, we're going to take a small break and come back. Stick around. Not go nowhere. Stay right there where you're there.
I do my best.
All right, 2 cents cam, and then we take our first break of the morning.
This is XTV. I got a big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. All right, people, This 2 cents we want to ask people about mental stress, mental health. We want to ask about even depression. A lot of people might get depressed and even know what depression means because they have all different forms, all right, and symptoms. So we could find out what depression means. All right, let's go find out people in 2 cents. Depression?
No sadness. Like when you're sad. Depression when you're sad, right?
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yeah.
When you're sad?
Yeah.
All right. You know about depression. What do you mean of depression? My meaning different. I don't want to know what your 2 cents on it. Can you know depression or?
Yeah, well, I say most of the time comes from people who have problem and like stress, and then they just keep it in, and then want to talk like what really happened today, right? So that are my 2 cents, right?
Okay. I like that. Thank you. 2 cent question a day. What are your meaning of depression?
All right. So my meaning for me,
yeah.
You set your goals for the day. You set daily goals.
Yeah.
You set weekly goals. You set monthly goals.
Yeah.
And now for that day, you don't accomplish everything you want, but you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And then you realize, okay, all right, I'm behind in the week. You know, but you got next week, the month not done yet, you got monthly goals. Eventually you realize you're behind, you never accomplish everything you want for that month. You're going into the next month a little rougher than how you approach that month, you know. But you always keep a positive mind. You know, I know who starts.
That's your meaning.
Yeah, that's my meaning of depression right there.
Yeah, your 2 cents.
My 2 cents.
Well, my definition of depression. My definition of depression. One time you go through stuff and you don't have support.
That's your 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
To be honest, depression means like I don't have the facility to do what I want, to get what I want.
Okay.
Stuff like that, you know. That just depressed me in getting my job done and finding work so I can survive.
Woman too?
I wouldn't put women in the league.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deal.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from them it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience with the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank does make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Habet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
This donation means a lot to us. It's a huge capacity building. We have a very good condition working ambulance that kind of expands our fleet. We already have one working ambulance, and we have another one now that doubles us. And we have one in repair, so we'll have about 3 or 4 ambulances available. Mr. Furr was kind enough to donate an X-ray machine, and that greatly increases our capacity as well to have X-rays done for our soldiers from various sports injuries and exercise-related injuries. And then we had a defibrillator from him as well, which again will help our doctors to assist not only soldiers but patients from outside of the Ladyville community as well.
We had the equipment, but we did not have the personality, like it's the professionals on board. So for that reason, it's to be in contact with the BDF medics. So I realized that just bring it together, and then it's about supporting my own country.
Mr. Furr, your generosity demonstrates a profound sense of patriotism, compassion, and commitment to the development of Belize. Your willingness to support the Belize Defense Force reflects your understanding in that the security and well-being of our soldiers is vital to the security and the well-being of Belize.
Belize Electricity Limited is pleased to announce the holding of its 2025 Annual General Meeting at the BEL Corporate Headquarters at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City, Belize at 3:00 p.m. on Thursday, June 18, 2026. For registration purposes, shareholders are advised to bring along a valid identification such as a Social Security card. Shareholders who are unable to attend may choose, and we encourage you to exercise this right, to appoint your proxy, or you can simply appoint the company's executive chairman or the corporate secretary as your proxy to represent you at the AGM. Proxy forms can be submitted at the BEL corporate headquarters at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway or via email at shares@bel.com.bz. no later than 5:00 p.m. on June 16, 2026. For more information or assistance, contact BEL's Securities Officer at 501-227-0954, extension 1512.
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad in the month of June. Visit a Benny's near you and get store-wide discounts on selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie Power Tools, Charbroil Barbecue Grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, oh, Benny's.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. On this Wednesday morning, we have our beloved former co-host, still co-host in our spirit, Dominic Novales. He's presently studying in Germany. What are the funny name place again? We did have Germany there. I only know Berlin and I know, well, Hamburg.
I'm close to Berlin. I'm in Magdeburg, which is, if you're still thinking in terms of East-West Germany, I'm in Eastern Germany. So, yeah.
All right. Now, one of the things, excuse me, come advice, give me a problem this morning. So, we spoke about how easy it is for people not to have, or how you would have to agree that most people don't really know what are the true measurement, what are the true score of any of these programs. We have about, I'd say we have about at least over 3 decades worth of interventions by one name or the other, by different formula, different design, different temperature, different texture, that have been actively involved in trying to engage street figures, engage in certain neighborhoods that are dealing with street conflicts. So whether we had CYDP, we've had Restore Belize, we have the LIU, like we have a body of work. And I have often described it this way. It's not that these programs have not been successful, it's that we have not had enough of these programs and enough put into these programs to create some of the results that we want to see. We have individuals that have done a lot of work. What we never consider, and what I would have to agree is difficult to really quantify. What would it be like Wednesday morning, 3rd of June 2026, if we could somehow run an experiment where we could remove all the interventions that have been done over 30 years, just completely take everything that has been done, every cent, every dollar that has been put in these different programs that have been implemented. Do we know what the profile of our conflict and violence would be? And if you could, and I think it's a difficult exercise, but do you have, what would be your view? Would it be a bit worse, about equal, or significantly worse?
I would take a hit that say that it would be significantly worse. You can't,
hold on.
Listen, when I spend money on people, that never waste. Because when I spend money on people, these people have other social connections and it helps everyone in the community. This is why the abruptness of disclosure is what really bothers me, because there was no transition. If you take away all of the social programs that have happened, women in our workplace, like you can't, you know what, imagine that, right? Like, you know what, imagine that. Because even where we are now, there are so many gruesome stories. There are so many stories of the entire setup picnic for people dead. It may be worse if we never have these programs. Now, what I will say is that we need to do a better job at building these programs, and no government, no matter what party administrates it, can expect that this is some magic bullet, because this thing happens in the context of the judicial system responding, policing responding well. But you can't only have suppression and incarceration without rehabilitation, restoration, rejuvenation, whatever word you want to use. It just not work if you don't have these types of programs that are properly built and properly staffed. And anyway, I said something about that.
Yeah,
I will stop there. You have to have good intentions, man. Like, you can't, while I say that money spent on people is never wasted, you also can't expect to throw money at a problem and expect it to just work. That's not how social programs work. It takes time. Human development takes time. Human development is not a road, that's not a house. Human development takes time. Human beings make mistakes. Human beings respond to this ecology in which they were raised. And you try your best to survive, whatever that look like. I am very privileged, even with my own experience of poverty. Many people not have the same level of support around them to do well in our system. When not imagine no place for you from the job. And if the government, whoever administrates it, doesn't see that their responsibility is to build a better ecology of opportunity for people while not making them feel like they beg for it or that you have to do something to deserve it, then you continue to have people make a way the way they can, and you can't blame people for that. There is personal responsibility before people come after me and say, oh, I like defend criminals. There is personal responsibility. And you must take accountability for any bad actions you do outside the remit of legality. But people get there somehow. Nobody wake up or murderer, like, unless something really wrong with you. Nobody wake up like that. A series of things happen to you. And to undo that, a series of things have to take place. This is just the reality.
So I really want to push back on this culture of making decisions on feelings and hunches, and we got feeling, because as much as no disrespect to elders we tell you about, you have to follow your guts. enough research has been produced to show that the brain make mistakes over and over and over, and we gut feeling is as wrong as it is right.
Right.
Now, the last, I would say, the most properly done, effective research on the state of our communities as it relates to street conflict and violence. I couldn't believe it when I was going to speak on this matter on Monday. When I went back, I couldn't believe it's been 15, actually 16 years.
It has.
16 years since Dr. Gale and his extraordinary team applied one of the most effective ways to get as accurate a layout of the land. Applying peer-to-peer technique produced a better CAT scan. It's like before that maybe we got one X-ray, but with that now we have one MRI. In my view, the decision makers right now are using what I would call they use the eye rather than use MRI. So if this is one of the most significant problems, I think it's very reasonable to expect that we would, as with any, if you go to the doctor and the doctor do a scan for you and see a problem and then provide one treatment, before he make choices again, he want to say, I want to get one new test. I need to get one new X-ray. I need to get a new CAT scan to say, are we making progress? So generally I think we think of the Gale research as, man, we don't need to do no research to know that what are the problem. We don't need that. Well, we know what our problem. We just got one bunch of bad egg and we need to start to crack some heads. That's a lot of how many of us think about it. Now I want to use this kind of side story here a bit. An interesting movie for your watch, sports movie, Moneyball.
Okay.
It's an interesting movie because it essentially covers a true story in sports where there was this transition, and in fact since then professional sports, especially in America, has completely changed its approach. It's driven by analytics. So you had one team when they lose, never have no top ballers, whatever, and they somehow decide, you know what, we go along with this crazy man when they said that, all the experts are in a baseball and we spend all the years in a baseball and know so much about baseball. We bring this person when they say, you know what, take that ball, take that player, because my data, they say, even though that person is not a star and nobody no want, and that the player where you need. Because we go with where the data, they say. And once they did that, this team will never have no bunch of star and big time kick everybody but. Because data is data. And we live in a world right now where empirical facts matter more than your feelings and your hunches. Yes, we have to have instinct. Yes, we have to have. They're going to try to say that and all part of it. But I think our dismissal or disregard for the process of doing actual gathering of information has to change. That's my view, because what you have described. No. You know what looms large over all of us and all of this, especially in this region? It's the Bukele magic.
Oh my gosh.
So that that looms over everything. Bukele has done magic. And so whatever you want to argue, you can argue against that set of empirical data. Bukele did magic. But if we are so in love with data, how come nobody is acknowledging or reporting that the Jamaica crime figures went down drastically in 2025 and continues to go down in 2026? No mention of that. No, well, what are they doing? Because the only thing we have in our, only one voice we hear in our head, only one name in our head, Bukele do it. So, what are your, do you think that that is an accurate feeling? Because that's a feeling. I have not done any research, but that's a feeling. What are your thoughts?
Two things. So, some months ago, there was a discussion. I think that before the cabinet shuffle happened, there was a discussion on another media house, and I think the person who was leading the discussion said, "You know, we've done all of the research and nothing's still not changed." We have not done all this research. In fact, we're very much lacking resourcing, because what happens in social programs don't make money, right? Like, I mean, directly. So it's easy for dismiss it, but if you look at it with the right lenses, you know that social programs are people programs, and people are most valuable, indeed invaluable asset. So if you change your perspective, things different. Data has always been an issue that believes. Every time I read reports, as I am beginning my organization for writing my thesis, which will be on these same issues, believes data not there in a lot. What part of our research there? The Statistical Institute of Belize is making great strides with statistics. I have not looked at the Belize Crime Observatory in a while, but the last time I checked, it wasn't up to date. These type of things means, I mean, and I don't know, ComStat is, I don't think it's a public, ComStat, which is the police department's data conference, is not, I think, a public thing. And the restraint or the relationship between the police and the media have become, I think, a bit strained. And so data is even more so not being put into the public sphere. And so we're really in some ways the guess, right? With the guess. And with the guess wrong. And we're not the guess completely. And we're gonna look on the stuff that do work. Now, for the Bukele situation, if you look at Bukele more comprehensively, there's so many. The solution, my darlings, for a country that is 422,000 people at 2025, they're not for bail and make a prison and put everybody there. That's not the Belizean way. It should never be the Belizean way. No matter who you're there, where you call from, where you're born, who. The Bukele solution is not a solution. We can't go there because I can't come back from it. We will not be able to come back from the losses we will have if we continue into this route of just lock everybody up and move forward. That kind of movement, if you know Latin American history, does not end well. Does not end well. So whoever had that in their mind, I encourage them to read a history, a politics, and for watch what happened now with the critique of the Bukele solution. It does not, it looked like it's working on, yeah man, things, but there's a dark side to that is unconscionable. But coming back to our data situation, yes, we need to do better. But even in the social sector, we lose social workers every day to other careers because we don't respect the social protection system. We don't respect social workers enough to pay them enough. And so there's a whole cacophony of issues that are leading to what we're seeing on the streets, not only of Belize City, but of the country. Because transnational organized crime, that's not a Belize City problem. That's a regional problem. The war on drugs, the war on guns, the war on terror, whatever it is being called. Crime as a public health issue is what CARICOM calls it now. You have all the decorations. We have to put in the work. And we have to learn from each other from good examples and do the work. And the work takes time and the work takes money. And the work, not based on how I feel today. The work based on what I'm supposed to do because I plan it properly. And I make changes based on evolving and emerging data. Not for how I feel or how I feel about this cabinet minister or how I feel about who the lead, whatever. Sometimes I would love to make those feelings my reality. But that isn't how things work. I think we just have to be a bit more responsible. The carelessness with which we deal with people's life as if there's a conditional right to life is scary. Incredibly scary. And I will end with this answer on this. I want Belizean people to understand no matter what part we come from. I teach a lot of students that are from Cayo, Orange Walk, Corozal. What they do to people who are the most vulnerable, who are incarcerated, who are the most policed, they could do to you. You just have to make a different set of circumstances. It will be at your door sooner rather than later. So don't find comfort and safety in other people's peril, because it's coming for you eventually. It will get to your doorstep. So we have to be responsible and we have to question a bit more the narratives that are being pushed from wherever they come from. And we have to keep ourselves informed, because if you don't, then people who are already not informed, who have the power to make life-altering decisions, generational decisions, will continue to make them without pushback. And also, we could talk about the system and the kind of people get into the system, but that's another conversation.
We need to let you go yet, Dominique. I think I have at least the next half hour with you, at least after the next break, because I know your class at 9. So I'm a done vision at you and left here at 8:30. So you just calm yourself. Yeah, I did do my best. I don't know where. Well, actually, the no morning that Jeremiah. Just me I tell you. The afternoon. I don't know where you get. I tell you, we had a whole discussion. I think it mixed up the days. I had class at 9 o'clock this morning, a European Union class, but I do have other tasks that I have to do in a few hours. So I still can't. I think I clear my schedule up until 9 Belize time, so we should be fine. As long as we don't go over the 9 o'clock Belize time thing, we should be okay. You know I don't play that. 9 to 9.
9 to 9, I appreciate it.
We take a break and come back. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Wednesday morning edition. We're with Dominic Morales.
This is a fantastic feeling to have a new roof over my head, brand new roof. This is great.
You like your house? You love it? Pretty.
I'm so happy and excited because I never may expect my little house. Too much months, the rent.
Now Cynthia had this opportunity. Thanks God and thanks to the People's United Party and thanks to the program that we push when we won, that we're going to give this starter house to humble families. Well, this is the evidence again.
I know Ms. Rochester is going to make sure that this home serves its purpose. I think she's ready for moving. And I think it's really important because it provides now stability for the entire family.
Not everybody could afford to go to bank, get one loan and get one house, and this actually helps a lot of people, families, single mothers.
Owning a home transforms a family, and those things they're non-negotiable. We don't compromise on those things. So we have made it abundantly clear that when it comes to our social programs, we don't compromise. When it comes to housing, we're working to see if we can find even more funding to be able to expand this program and to have people have access to a real home.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So, do you think we got a deal?
No one should be up at this time. If you're still up, it's not you. It's your mattress. Because the right mattress changes everything. Sherwood Bedding Luxury Resort Pillow Top Mattress. Sleep better, wake better. Available at Design Depot. All in one place.
Nokshe Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from them it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank just make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Member owners of St. John's Credit Union Limited, mark your calendars. Join us for the 80th Annual General Meeting on Saturday, June 13, 2026 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's all happening at St. Catherine Academy's Mercy Center Auditorium on Marine Parade Boulevard, Belize City. Your voice matters. Come take part in the discussion on our transformation, member benefits, and plans. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Come out, cast your vote, and help shape your credit union's future. Plus, get ready to win prizes throughout the event. For 80 years, St. John's Credit Union has stood with its member owners. Now, we look ahead to the next chapter. Together, you're more than a number. You're a member owner. St. John's Credit Union Limited. Safe saving, smart borrowing.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. The great Dominique Norales live on Zoom via out of Germany. I can't even say the name of the place. Some place near Berlin.
No. Magdeburg.
Magdeburg. So yes, my sister, it's good having you. It's very pleasing to my soul that I've been able to get you down and engage in conversation. We miss you, no? We miss you.
Other man. I'll come back home soon, no, sir.
You're the far.
I come back home soon. I don't like the far, but you know, education, free education.
Remember Muta Baruka say, you know, you know good.
It no good for stay too long. I tell you, that's why I try hurry up.
All right. I guess you're caught up in the World Cup fever, no? Germany.
I'm not. I'm not actually.
Okay, but you didn't have a country where one of the powerhouses, no?
I agree. My experience of football, what is called here football hooliganism, is very different. I am black in Eastern Germany.
Okay.
It's different.
Different. I understand.
Yeah, so I don't really go outside when the football fever there because I don't want nobody drunk come up to me.
It's
crazy,
intense out there. Yeah. But for sure, I'm unapologetically a World Cup groupie. Unapologetic. Like my professional performance is going to be greatly reduced by the World Cup. I will be distracted. I will be finding excuses to avoid meetings around certain times when games are being played. Like, it's deep. Yeah, the level of reading news online and so, that's going to drop. It's going to be very noticeable. Very noticeable. And I know
they'll put everybody upon notice right now.
Put everybody upon notice. You know, I've actually done a WB. You know, sometimes the World Cup is in other parts of the world. So, like, for example, in a different time span, and the games would come on very early in the morning. I used to have a small monitor where I have on the game in the corner of the studios while I'm doing the WB.
I mean, for the love of the game,
and I watch I don't exactly ride, because I think these are like nations, so I don't what we would call a neutral. I just enjoy the game. Enjoy great football.
Okay.
And you have players where you rate, and you know, but they say, you know, see me the way, you know, next nation jersey, you know. I think that out of order. Like, I think that is out of order. I think you could wear
So people do too much, I agree.
Yeah, they do too much. Like, come on, I don't know wear no Brazil shirt. I don't know from Brazil. Like, how the hell am I wearing a Brazil shirt? Or any Argentina shirt? I don't believe. But
I see my campus is having I was just looking at our like notice board today. They're putting up a huge screen to broadcast one of the games. I can't remember which. But beer cheaper than water that Germany saw.
The tournament begins in about 8 days. Yeah.
I'll find myself there.
About 8 days, actually, and I'll try to watch a great number of the games. And some of the teams I want to see how the very small nation of Kosovo is going to look. It's the smallest country that has ever qualified for the World Cup. That should inspire us, because they have expanded the number of countries that can participate in the finals. So that gives us should inspire us to, you know, say, listen, this small country, make it, come on now. Our brothers from Haiti are going to be there, so that's a big thing. We have our Central American neighbors, Costa Rica, always do thing, always represent, you know. That's how I see respect, but I enjoy it. It's fantastic. I love the World Cup. I say that. We are called to give people notice. If you see my morning and don't show up,
the man they watch football or me they watch football.
Too late. But to our conversation and talking about the world now, because we don't exist in a bubble. One of the comments I made on Monday, which my concern, and I said to Brick, who had called in to raise the matter, I said, as somebody where God I see, you always get focused when you see the weather change. Like if you get up and you're out there and wind the blow, but then all of a sudden it drop. So where they go on, where they look for coming here, what kind of weather they look for coming here, you know? So that's one of the reactions that I had to the decision that has been made. And I say that in light of the hemispheric, the very movement of the tectonic plates, because in the hemisphere we now see where there's a new order, and the new order is that we are not going to play by the same rules with people we perceive to be involved with the trans-narcotic trade. And we see that started months now, where people in fishing boats with alleged cocaine cargo are essentially missiled out of the water. We have had evidence to show that they have done what is called a double hit. They hit the boat. There were people clinging on to the remains of the boat in the water, and they came back around and hit it again.
Wow.
By any definition, a war crime. Just that these are not enemy soldiers, but they have characterized them as such. And so now we had a summit where people who are involved in security in regional countries of their choosing were invited to go to Miami, and they had a summit. That's earlier this year. And essentially the blueprint was given out to them. We know the play right now. We know to take no prisoners. We and take out what we have to take out. Just some weeks ago, or maybe let's put it at maybe a month ago, a story came out of Mexico where some US personnel died in a traffic accident, and they found out, oh, these were CIA operatives who were on the ground in Mexico hunting cartel people and taking them out. Last week, the neighbors to the west, the Guatemalans, have voted to allow and to participate in collaborative missions to go after narco traffickers in Guatemala along with the US. Mexico to this point have said no thanks, but no thanks. We don't want you to be using your military technology to come and kill our people. We understand, we are in the fight, we are fighting against it, we are taking them on, but we are not allowing you to come and do it. I say that's what's going on, that's what's in the atmosphere. That's the new weather we're coming in. And so when I saw that, that's the first thing that came to my, we have to watch this very closely. I don't know if you've been following what I would call the rules change. The rules have been changed, and we are not known for blazing our own trail. Not too often. What are your thoughts?
Most certainly I've been keeping up with what has been happening. I study peace and conflict studies, and so I have a vested interest in Latin America and Caribbean because I come from there, but also because in this space, then they don't talk about they talk about Europe and the like. And one of my consistent arguments with my professor and discussions with colleagues is that the definition of terrorism has changed. And it has changed essentially by decree, right? You put out your executive order and say anybody where align terrorists, and because you're a terrorist and because you're in our hemisphere, in our backyard, as people call it, a term that I absolutely abhor, we could do what we want. And so because that change in definition has happened, and simultaneous to that, we do not see, in some ways, this civil war level of murders that happen in this region as war. We see it as just violence. It's not defined as war. But that lack of definition of war combined with this new definition of terrorism, and I say new, not that I think it is new, because every time US policy changes in terms of drugs and guns, now it's a war on terror. We in some ways shift the way we do things. The OAS, and I'm going in a circle, but stay with me. The OAS recently had like 2 days ago, their release of their geo indicator data on what policies exist, crime, all of that stuff, where guns come from. In Belize, most of our guns come in from our seaports. It's not necessarily a land thing. It's a seaport thing. And this is according to OAS data. This is what the people say with their own mouth. This is another with Norales, they make as the cast aspersion. It is the seaports that most of our guns come from. And so you will see a lot of things begin to change with the way we deal with immigration, the way we deal with crime, how we approach crime, who trains our police officers, who deals with anti-narcotics, the collaborations we have. I think Interpol just released some data in relation to Belize recently, Latin America and the Caribbean recently. And so these tides are really gravitational. We can't escape it. I don't know what the direction of the people who are atop the political directorate will do. These are men who have a very specific sort of training, military training. And so I think they're most susceptible to that sort of thing. And I don't want us to wait and see. You have proposed for us and outlined for us all the things that are happening. And these things, we're not immune to it. We're not immune to it. Little Belize is not immune to it. And so, we have to be ready as a people, but as a government as well, to respond to these things in a way that doesn't affect our self-determination, doesn't affect our sovereignty, and doesn't put our people in peril. I think in some ways, unfortunately, because of globalization, we won't be able to escape it. And because of our smallness in the international relations term, there's some things we won't be able to escape, but I'm hoping for the best. I am pessimistic in some ways, but I always remain hopeful. And Belize's problems, I think, are in comparison to other places. And I know for us, it's big. I mean, and it means something. Every time somebody dead, that means something. I don't want to dilute that. But we have small issues. This is why I think it is so solvable. There is no way we should have this problem for 30 years. There's no way it should be as bad as it is now for 30 years. Like we shouldn't there, because we have such small issues compared to other places. Why we can't figure it out?
Okay, so
why?
Let me introduce this angle.
Let's go.
So it's kind of, and I know you have to leave very shortly, but
I know
it's kind of ironic that in the same week when this decision is put to us, we had the CEO in the Ministry of Immigration and Labor come out and said, according to data, it's always a good thing to hear a presentation being led by that phrase,
yes,
according to data.
Very refreshing.
Yes. And I'm very grateful that the information was shared, and I feel like the follow-up conversation to that, I don't know, it's not really happened. The data says that Belizeans don't want to do manual labor. They're not interested in doing the manual labor, and so those industries that require a certain amount of manpower, whether it is sugar, citrus, or now even construction, are essentially saying you need to bring in people for us. So we identify by statistics a problem.
Yes.
Our solution is the problem. So the solution or our approach to the problem is to say, well, they don't want to work, so we will have to find the workers for that. Now, with due respect, that's a huge problem. If you would think that the first response you would have, and I'm not speaking about the CEO, I'm not talking about at that level, I'm talking at the level of the political director and the leadership of the country, that your first is that we need to find out why it is our people don't want to do manual labor. We got to find out why they're reluctant to get involved in construction. Why would that be your response? Because then what you're looking at, you're dealing with the, again, statistical reality of how many of our children are not fulfilling their academic potential, are not even finishing the course, are not even getting to the final. We have to celebrate high school graduations in 2026. We have to, because a high school graduation, it's 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2 that come in infant 1 generally is going to get the high school diploma. So we have every right to celebrate it. Somebody say that why would we celebrate? They're only in high school. Man, my goodness, man, if half of our children are not doing that, then my goodness, those parents who have a child that has finished at least that has every right to be overjoyed.
Certainly.
So essentially, if you are going to write off, accept that they don't want to do that. They don't want to plug in to what you would call legitimate work activity. We want to find their replacement and then dep on their own. Do the next best. Since we don't want to cut sugar cane and we don't want to cut citrus, and so that is how we accept it. And once you have found the replacement, that is not undone. Especially you are bringing their replacement from outside the country. That cannot be undone. Listen, this is a very delicate situation. We see what's going on in South Africa, where you have migrant laborers are literally being killed in South Africa. You have fellow African countries telling their citizens not to go there. Mozambique telling their citizens don't go there. That's going on as we speak. Now you have one situation where you do essentially say we are aware that there is a reluctance. They say, well, that's no fault. We don't want to do it. Well, we don't want to do. The people in need their workforce, and we will have to make sure we satisfy that. The thing is, though, is that those people don't just then disappear. The thing is that those people still have the same needs, same desires that everybody else has. And in the same week when you are telling the nation that is going on, you have the nerve to tell us that you don't feel you need to be engaged in these communities in a deep and significant way. Man, at the very least, say why it is. How do we change that? How do we say, okay, we will have to change the mindset and the way that people are looking at that. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
You know, I was making this, I had a discussion with some friends recently about Belize's history of immigration, like our immigration, human, what do you call, population policy, right? I mean, and I don't know that we have one written, but the practices that lead to this sort of policy thinking.
Caller, you will have to, 1 second.
Sorry?
Caller, you will have to call us back, because if Dominic won't be able to hear your question. So, yeah, it's hard to have the person on Zoom hear what the caller is saying. It doesn't work. So you can maybe call us back when we wrap with Dominic. Go ahead, Dominic.
Yeah, so Belize has been a very immigration friendly country, right? We don't have a lot of, I mean, we have a process, but it's not necessarily a restrictive one, I find. And the reason why, there's this discussion around, that I see on online spaces where people are talking about people from immigrant families, first generation, immigrant families, and then they make a comparison to people from particularly the Belize City urban space, and why Belize City people not developed, why Belize City people still poor or engaged in a crime. And I think what makes a difference is that systems were created for people who migrate to Belize. Systems have always been there, and even more so now because of the safe third country situation that I think we find ourselves in. Even more systems get created. You had the Summit of the Americas some years ago, where the asylum mechanism was created and funded. There's always systems to support people moving into Belize. That's always, but we don't have systems, at least not sustained ones. And I go back again to your comments on the different iterations of programs that have been similar to LIU, Youth Apprenticeship Program, Restore Belize, CYDP, all of these things. They have not been sustained in a way that ensures that people who pass through them, their children never have to pass through them. One of the greatest heartbreaks, and there are many that I have had while being director of LIU, and I'm talking to officers who have been within the spaces that have more than I've been alive, is when they say, oh well, I know his uncle, I know his pa, know his son, and know his son different, and we with the same issues. That should not be the case. Why is that? Because the systems are based on personalities, the systems are based on the feeling, the system are based on political will, on when the election season happens. It's not based on a system that is created to sustain and to take people away from the issues that burden them. So the difference to me was in relation to this work thing, and I encourage Belizeans to just big up the SIB, the Statistical Institute of Belize, for their very readable infographics. Take some time to go and see how many Belizeans within the workforce have education beyond primary school. This difference between high school and tertiary level, stark. I just have a lecture with my students about that last night. The amount of Belizeans who enter high school and finish high school, there's a significant drop, about 20 to 30% of people not go on to tertiary level education. And this is not to sound elitist about education, but the picnic need for go to school. Nothing happened, the brain drain now mean nothing. The picnic need for go to school. You need to keep children in school. And I think the Ministry of Education, with this Education Up program that they're doing, wonderful. We spend a lot of money in our $1.7 billion budget on education. Unfortunately, we need to do more because people not stay at school. Why they not stay at school is something we need to study. We need to find data. We need to research. And research cannot be looked at as a waste of time, because believe it or not, if you do not have the data, you will be wasting another 30 years. I don't want there 20, 30 years from now, when I'm a woman of half a century age, to talk about this again. We need to elevate our discussions. We need to talk more about everything except these, what I consider to be low-hanging fruit. You have to, your people that the most important asset, no matter where they come from, no matter what they do. And if it is your problem is that, oh, you say they encourage people in a bad behavior, reward them for bad behavior, then you make sure that the judicial system and your policing mechanisms capture the people with bad behavior. That's how it's supposed to work, so the people who are vulnerable don't get caught up in that. How you are telling me not to talk to somebody where I grew up with across the street? How? That don't work, that belief city, that don't believe it to work. We not set up like that. We not plan, believe it, that not plan space, our port city that has grown based on urban sprawling. I raised in our swamp, no longer a swamp. But you have to be realistic about what we're facing. And outside of the belief city situation, transnational organized crime, because of how friendly our migration and border policies are, we're not immune to that either. So you see, Mose, there are several things we have to think about. But this is what nation building calls us to do. And if we have people with narrow thinking, with short, myopic thinking, with short-term memory, who are only basing their decisions on what looks good for PR right now and responding to partisan criticism, then we not move beyond this very low level, low energy sort of democratic society. We will not transcend if we are not honest. And that honesty requires some people, and I'm not talking about the political directorate at this point, but some people within our social protection system need to take a rest. Then, like, we need fresh ideas, new courage. We need it because we will not transcend if we continue to make the same decisions with the same people at the helm over and over and over again. And the people who are new, who are fresh, who come in with vigor to learn, not only to contribute, but to learn, cannot be disillusioned and disenchanted by this level of timidity when it comes to facing difficult issues. This is what being a citizen calls you to do. We are extremely lucky. We are citizens of a country. People do not have that protection. There are people exist who do not have that protection. That's why they come to other places. We have it now. We could do it for protect it for everybody. Right to life and a right to live should not be conditional and should not be limited. We're called to a greater task. We have to do it.
It's a very powerful contribution. Impressive, and I enjoyed it immensely. There's a lot of growth in your commentary, and you started out very high already. I can feel it. Yeah, going into a powerhouse, Dominic. Give thanks.
Give thanks.
Can't wait to come back. Yeah, so yeah, I know how you go, but hopefully we link during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I want to let man know yourself. All things equal. I shall be there.
Host during the
I
World
have
Cup
an internship to do, so I have to work it out.
During the World Cup for me,
I will try to catch a couple games. I'll try to catch a couple games.
All right, sister. Give thanks for joining me, though. I really enjoyed it.
Give thanks for the space, man. Have a good day.
Yes, man. We'll take a break and come back. Polo, I see you the call. You could call me back after the break. I want you, but I have Dominique on and I have to go to break. So call back. Make sure you call back, Polo. Yeah, man. Respect.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad in the month of June. Visit a Benny's near you and get store-wide discounts on selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, oh, Benny's.
Today marks a major milestone for future education in our community. This building is more than concrete and classrooms. It is a symbol for hope, progress, opportunity, and strong belief that our young people deserve the very best foundation for their future.
The scope of works of this project included the construction of 8 classroom spaces, office spaces, bathroom facilities for male and female students, as well as restroom facilities for male and female teachers, along with storage rooms and a janitor's equipment storage room. Additionally,
Nokshe Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank does make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
I'm feeling so happy for getting this house, as I've lived in this house, in the next house for many years. So I'm appreciative Mr. Mose for letting me get it.
They started to talk about how they help out people with house and things, and variety, and in a couple weeks time, the young lady come and say, "Oh no, I get on a house." Well, you feel so happy because we actually need it because the household may have many leak, and look like Mr. Karim get a message and he heard the cry and he said, "Well, building people house."
I was speaking with her son this morning, and it's been 40 years coming, and to have this moment finally arrive, it's not just a relief for Miss Peters and her husband, but also for her children who want their mother to be in a safe home, a secured home. And today I am extremely proud. This is one of those rewarding moments as an area representative, because the government has such a successful, impactful housing program that's affecting lives all across this country. And today we are just extremely happy and proud to deliver this home to a very deserving mother, Miss Peters.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up, the Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment, so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Some hands do more than carry. They prepare, they fix, they comfort. They keep a home moving in ways few people notice. And even when the day is done, they are still thinking of home. For the months of May and June, we celebrate the hands that hold the home together, offering you 25% off on tiles, lights, fans, ACs, gardening supplies, and more, both in-store and online. Thank you, moms and dads, from Builders Hardware.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you right now. When I this daily? For 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
All right, welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for Wednesday, the 3rd of June 2026. Of course, we invite your participation. Our telephone number is 280-5848. That is the lifeline for you to participate in the conversation. We had for the entire morning, essentially, Dominic Morales, a former co-host, former LIU director, presently a student studying in Germany, and really enjoyed her input. So we don't have a lot of time remaining, but you can still call in and put your thoughts and views. If you can do so in a very succinct manner, just keep it compact. We good? Let me take this call. Krem, good morning, WB. Krem, good morning.
Yes, greetings, Belize, Brother Mose.
Yes, brother.
Man, I'm going to try to get in there. I wish I was in a conversation with you and Dominique, man. I forget what the background, a slight background. I decided for in the late 70s, now when I got to school, and they told me to study accounting, which was at that time to get a job in the bank and the perception of wealth. I decided I wanted to do social work and work with kids. And by that, I decided to take to pursue a degree in psychology, you know, because I realized that back home I was going to be dealing with a lot of mentally challenged kids. So I came back and I've been working on that, and I had read a book back then called Future Shock, which told you that what today was going to be like, that everything was going to be moving so fast that when you're able to keep up, like how it started out with the i1 phone, and now with the i17 going, you know, the changes, and then everybody with style and fashion, everybody wanted the latest thing when they can't afford it. You understand? And I decided when I came and work with you, so I created a program called Future Shock. This is my third generation of Future Shock. Okay, and I decided I wanted to deal with youth. As a matter of fact, even before Future Shock, there was a situation with 2 junior basketball teams. And this is when I first realized when the gang thing kicked in the 90s, when the divisions then turned into hoods. When you had one group like that, two different groups from back at Party Street, the street there. Yes, you had two. You had the paper folders there without them crash it, and then you have the guys that working at the press. I look like one of the fiction really going, and the owner of the Amanda newspaper at the time got me to intervene, and we did a true sport to create a basketball team called Creme, which played in the inter-office tournament, and we actually won. And that tension was gone, and up to today, these kids are still passing the ball to each other, even off the court. So my take from then was I learned that intervention is better than prevention. So I have the recent Future Shock program. I have had like 27 kids. 25 of them, thank God, graduated from high school. I have 2 of them whenever I graduate, and most of them today are either still in school, going to a university somewhere, most of them on scholarship, or they are working. So I found out that for every team you have, out of that 27 kids, all right, I learned that 60% of our youths are mentally challenged, whether that's schizophrenic, bipolar, attention deficiency syndrome, pedophile, kleptomaniac. I experienced all that addiction. So out of every team you have to realize that your team not just make up a 12 man going up there basketball. And it's an issue. Because from my research I realized that more important than anything else, my concept of life is that heredity and the environment lead you to spirituality. Most of these kids up to the age of 11, 12 have no issues with gangs and guns and girls. But once they jump that age, once they jump the adolescents kick in, the parental guidance has to be there. Because at that stage, you know, where grandma say, oh, bars up, you know, think of a man, you start to see life different. Once you sleep with a woman, there's a whole different phase of life you're going through then. Just like how, you know, and that is so when you go through adolescence, that's the part you need guidance at the most. And I found out that most of these kids don't have any fathers. Either their father are in jail or dead or has no job. So I found that, like for example, these kids, when they got to that age, 13, 14, they start to call me. Whenever you hear somebody in the neighborhood get shot or so, my phone started ringing off at the hook when they got intervention, when they got SIS or whatever. Because they tell you the policeman will come pick me up and people from the next gang will just come and shoot up the neighborhood. So everybody they call want to call a fresh panda boom. My phone ring off and everybody want to come. I used to bring them home from weekends and holidays and so because we train. I have basically, I think design like one academy. I got rim, weights, everything. Alright? And I found out that once you get at this stage that games, gangs, girls and guns kick in, only your pop will get you ready for that. Big up to the single mothers, but it's hard for a woman to turn one man into a man. Just like how it's hard for a man to turn one, if you go and turn one woman into a woman. You don't got no business to be your daughter. So I found out that and a lot of people, it's like 50 years old, we prepare the kids there for environment when it exists again. We don't prepare them for this environment. This, for example, this world here today is built around the device in your hand. The amount of information that have. That's why people talk about library extinct. That no one come back. We have to forget about restore beliefs and go with the changes and make the adjustments. We have people who want like we want to lash and want to punish. We literally punish crazy people, and 60% of these kids are mentally challenged. And you see that we educate them. They need talking. They need this morning, your boy, when they talk about depression. When we grew up, we never got depression, but I think we had it, but we don't call it worries. All right, and worries that when you get so depressed and some of the reactions to depression, you get frustrated, you get set you're caught up. Man, most of the kids in this country got where my brother realized when I was called knife in their head. All kind of bad words, then cuss them and beat them and stuff, then mentally abused, and we know, and it has become normal. The problem, the thing about it is that it turn into a cancer. It's normal for everybody. And then what's even the so-called north side girls, when they have two things, they start to cuss up. And they real matter one next thing where they trigger the violence more than anything else, the alcohol.
You see the issue though, Polo.
Huh?
You see the issue, Polo, is that you have your experiences and you have, by the reality of those experiences, one picture of how things they happen on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that is valuable. But again, there's no more comprehensive analysis of what the child is experiencing from all different elements and concerns, whether that the abuse, whether that the family situation, the financial situation, like even if you're not say, oh well, Polo that does Polo well. So 16 years ago, I don't know how many people have actually read the papers that was produced by Dr. Gale and his team. But it's so comprehensive. And essentially a lot of what you were saying can be found in there, like the first couple of pages. Like it's like it's what you call irrefutable proof. It's no, you can't argue against it. This was a scientific method. It was I say one high level research approach, like this not based on anecdotal experience here or there. No, this gone in and do a CAT scan and said this is how they go on down on your ground. If you want to know if anything what you do since then till now has had an impact or anything that change going in the right direction, as you know, as an athlete, when something wrong with your limb, they do an X-ray and then they do a rehab and then they go back and you check and say how it heal, how the ligaments they heal, how the bone they heal, because they want to know when you could start get back on the court or get back on the field.
My field is called psychoanalytics.
So
they pay man big money at the NBA for one so-called new thing when they call analytics for about 10 years old. I think that's what they talk about this morning with the movie.
No, analytics has always been wrong. Analytics is just data. But the level the analytics and the amount of credence when they give the analytics, that is what has changed. So you had a whole.
From the early 80s, I did psychoanalytics. I put my last time look like I could read mine. In a way, I studied just like how you study the diagnosis with the MRI and so with the doctors. They go and take their thing and X-ray and all this, and he could tell you with that. Alright, with people I study and our experience. When you psychoanalyze it, I see when I went to the America for me really when he's 10 years old. Then they watch young boy NBA. Never broke again and alone gun and alone violence and half no sex. And he knows every word to every song. And the lyrics one there, he sing and you listen to him and they cry, because I don't know. Before his son man goes here and gets shut up, he going to jail and so said, so done, my brother. Alright, and you, that's why they define it, and then who, if you ban, for example, you ban and if you ban from the base, you can't get to it if you want, because when next man pass and you, then they identify you, you feel like a good little boy. They identify you and they attack you that like, the first set of future shot with Clinton Fuller, he nicknamed him a lamb. In about 40, his 40s now, mid-40s. The youngest person we get in the national team, Kermit daughter that from. He does live that kick down fence from the corner when they bypass and shoot up, you have to get under the bed. To make nobody, the same situation I tell you about when the gang thing, to make man not shoot out and hear many police don't bother him. He tell me when he come from school, the reason he get in the lamb, because when he come from school, he sing Lamb of God out loud. Check that psychology, he sing Lamb of God out loud.
Yeah, I never know that story there.
Yeah, thank God he lived, but this is a better part of the story. Yeah. He lived in Atlanta now.
Yeah. I know.
He owned over 60 vehicles.
I know Lamfine start when he became a star player at Wesley. I'm in the coach high school at that time. Great player, great talent. But I never knew how he get the name Lam till just now. So it was worth not chopping you off before 9, Polo, just for hear that story. I never knew that. That's a beautiful, very, very incredible story. But thanks.
The thing is right now.
But I can't give you more time today, Polo. I can't give you more time today. I can't give you more time.
I just want to big up Zedian Colonna and Varfuentes, the two first graduates from the scholarship given, and big up Francis Fonseca who gave them the scholarship. They are the first two graduates, one in human resource and the other in finance.
That's great to hear, my brother. Give thanks. Congrats.
Enough respect and more to come. All right.
Yes, sir. We go to the final break, come back and back.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 100-pound key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from them it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank just make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican link-up, the Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican link-up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by...
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
All right, we got to thank you all for being here with us. We hope you have a great Wednesday. Tomorrow you will have Brother Nur Muhammad hosting on Friday as well with Health and Strength. And of course, live. I'll be back on Monday for the Monday morning edition of Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes. Salute the team always. Larry G at Crumb Radio up at XTV, Pacliff, The Glue, and directing this morning, Mr. Harlan Wagner. Have a great Wednesday. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place so calling WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people.